Hello and welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This is going to be our weekly reading for the week of September 1st through the 7th. And so I'm trying something new with you all. I did it, a little bit of it last week, but I'm changing it up a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to look at a collective reading today. And then at the end of it, I'm going to choose 3 archetype cards and 3 stones in which you can choose from. And I will do a daily read for Sunday. And then each day you can come back and see the daily read for your archetype. And you can just kind of go in and click the timestamp for which archetype you're following for the week. Or if you choose you want to change a different archetype every day, that's fine. It's up to you. But I thought it might be cool to keep the archetype energy throughout the week. So if there's one that resonates with you, you can follow that one through the week and you'll see a daily read each day for that. So for the collective reading, I'm going to just kind of go through an overview of the energies that we're going to see for the week and what we might expect for the week, and then some divine guidance. And then I'm going to take us through different life areas, right? So we'll pull a tarot and an oracle for career and work, health and wellness, love and connection, whatever that is for you, spiritual and personal growth, expansion in some way, and then hidden potential that you might not be seeing to be able to make your week more abundantly joyful, okay? And so that's what we're going to be looking at for the overview. I'm going to jump into that read. And then, as I said, we will pick the ones for the daily read. So hang on and let's get into it. Oh, if you are enjoying the readings that you are seeing on this channel, please give me that thumbs up and like and subscribe to the channel so that you always get the readings. Because if you're following the daily reads, it's easier if you subscribe, because then it will go into your feed so that you get the daily read. Okay, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I will be happy to have you in the community. That's it. So let's hop into this reading then. So again, this is the reading for September 1st through the 7th. All right. And what we've got in terms of beautiful. Okay. All right, so like a general overview of what we're looking at for the week. It's looking like a pretty dynamic week, y'all, because it's starting off with the 6 of Wands. So 6 of Wands is talking about success, and we'll see where that success might play out, in which area, like kind of life zone area that we look at. But overall, the 6 of Wands, hopefully you can see that clearly, is a card of not only success in what it is that you're doing, but also recognition. So people are seeing that you are successful and kind of giving you your props, giving you your honors, giving you, those words of encouragement and support to move forward. So that is a great energy to be going into the week with. Now, we've also got this beautiful 3 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles really leads me to believe that there's going to be an opportunity for you this week to be able to work within community, to work with others. You may be working on a project right now, perhaps the project that you're seeing success in which you're able to work with others in doing that. And so this card is encouraging you to really tap into that community energy, whether that be in the workplace, whether that be with home and family, whether that be in like community or social groups in some ways, if there's any like sort of nonprofit or things that you're working with within the community, engaging within those spaces is going to be something that's going to be a part of this week of September 1st through the 7th. Okay. So working within community, success, and then we've got this beautiful Lovers card. Now, of course, we all want to jump to that, is it a passionate new love coming in? But really, the Lovers card is really talking about choices and making passionate choices with your heart, okay? So there's an opportunity within you in this week that as you're moving through the week that you really look at, are you making choices are you leading with your heart when you're making your choices, okay? For some of you, there may be some beautiful heart-centered connection that is happening for you during this week. But mostly, I really am getting the sense that this is about how you're moving in your world throughout this week. Okay. So overall, the energy for this week is very high vibrational, very energetic. Like I'm really getting the sense of like engagement with others, engagement with the community, engaging with self, and seeing whether or not it's a final outcome of success, because the Six of Wands may not be like final completion of success of a project. It may be in the middle of the project, or you just may get accolades on some point of pause within whatever it is that you're working on. Okay, so it's not necessarily an end, but just overall success throughout the week. So very, very positive week here. And in terms of the Oracle card, ooh, lovely. So you've got Metamorphosis, and this is a 7. Well, it's a 2-5, which is going to give you 7. 7 is really hitting that kind of spirituality number, that sense of kind of reflection and assessment. And as we all know, like with the butterfly, there's this sense of like sort of dying unto oneself and then emerging as a new person. And oftentimes when we go through a period of, recognition or success, there is an ending that comes out of that is also a beautiful beginning, right? This is almost like you coming out into your butterfly self, right? So be sure that as you're moving through the week, that you're allowing yourself space and time to go through any transformations that you may be going through. I'm getting the sense to say that it's important that you also be compassionate with yourself. Hold your heart. This is coming back to the Lover's card with me, that there's a sense of you needing to like, even with all of the excitement and energy that you may be experiencing this week, that there's also a need for you to kind of hold your heart through it and make sure that you're taking care of yourself in the journey, okay? Because many of you are going through metamorphosis, and metamorphoses are always good as far as I see it. All right, so that's what I'm seeing as a general overview for the week. Now let's take a look in each of these areas. So I pulled a card for career and work. And so let's take a look at that. So for career and work, the tarot card you have, look at that. So from a whole other deck, you have Six of Wands. So this is the confirmation for us around the Six of Wands. This is a different deck, both Six of Wands, but this is specifically for your career and work. So the success that you may see this week, beloveds, thank you for checking in, all you abundant joy folks. This is going to likely be in your career and work category. So if you are not currently working at this time, it's going to be that whatever you're working on, right? Whatever you're putting your energy toward. It could be a hobby. It could be in some volunteer work you're doing. It could be anything like that. But in terms of work and career, that which, is you're doing in your daily work, right? Whatever that might be for you. We've got success coming through. Success and recognition. And then you've also got play. I love this. So this is from the Crow Oracle deck. And, it really speaks about how crows, they're not all serious, and they often play too. And there's a need for you. This is a call for you to really allow yourself to play. And it's interesting that it's coming in here with the Six of Wands and in the field of career and work, because play oftentimes we kind of discount play as that's not a part of our work. But anyone who is working on any kind of project intensely, or particularly if you're a creative of some time, play is literally a part of the work. It allows you to access different parts of your brain. All right. And so there's a need for you to be able to take the time to smell the roses, as they say. Go outside and do something silly. Go to a playground, get on a swing and just allow your brain to kind of think differently. New ideas can emerge from that, and new ways of being and new ways of thinking about how you may approach a problem or a dilemma or conflict that you're dealing with within your daily work. So take time to play, you all, and take time to celebrate your success this week. Then in the category of health and wellness, okay, we've got Justice. Look at her. Okay. So with health and wellness, when I think about health and wellness, and when I kind of prayed and pulled these cards, I'm thinking about both your physical, your mental, your emotional health. And the Justice card is about a balancing of the scales. And it's also talking about kind of karma, if you will, like things coming back into balance. And I'm getting the sense that for you all, there's a need for you to, for some of you, it's multiple areas. For some of you, it may be for your physical health, just being mindful of balancing what you're doing. If you've been spending a lot of time dealing with your physical health, maybe you need to take a moment to do a different type of exercise. Or, I literally just saw like somebody who was running who then spent some time this week maybe doing some stretching, some yoga, some things like that. Give your body a chance to balance what it is that you're doing with it physically. If you're someone who is not been active, who is very sedentary and sitting a lot, there's a need for you this week to change that up, to get some balance in there in terms of how it is that you're moving within your physical body. With regards to your emotional health, making sure that you are being mindful of that you're getting all that your body needs. Understand that sleep is important for us as human beings, and it affects our emotional world as well. Making sure you're getting enough of that. Making sure you're taking time to reach out to friends and family and to speak your feelings out. This is really important. It gives us the balance that we need. Or taking a moment to laugh at something. If you find that you're going down rabbit holes that are affecting you within social media, there's a lot of political talk, for instance, right now, and people find themselves going down that rabbit hole and find themselves by the end of the day feeling exhausted, angry, frustrated, whatever it might be. Be mindful of how you're feeling. There's a sense of mindfulness here, that there's a need for you to just kind of check in with yourself throughout your week and make sure that you are giving yourself all the missing pieces that you need, whether that be rest, whether that be laughter, whether that just be a nice, kind conversation, whether that be a nap, whether that be a nice run or a swim or whatever it might be. Make sure you're giving yourself balance within regards to your health and wellness. And then we've also got memory. So this is interesting that it's falling with justice here, because there's a sense of the memory is that, this whole idea of not forgetting the past. Are you holding on to something from the past that is affecting your health and wellness? Pay attention to that this week, okay? Is there a way in which you have functioned in the past, in which you're continuing to function, but it's no longer serving you? A way that you're eating, a way that you're carrying yourself. Even if you go to the gym all the time, but you've been doing the same routine over and over and over again, are you stuck on that? Is there a way that you can find a different way? Balance it, okay? There's a need for you to manage your memory with balancing with regards to your health and wellness this week. All right. So now let's dig into love and connection. So depending on whether or not you are currently in partnership, wanting partnership, or happily single and not wanting partnership, or it could also be talking about your other connections, not necessarily full love, romance partnership, but heart-centered connections that you have in your life with friends and family, etc. And so what we've got is the moon. Beautiful. So the moon speaks to like hidden truths, sometimes illusions, emotions that are kind of underneath the surface. There's also a sense of balancing here because we get the shadow and the light of the emotions here. But it's letting me know that for some of you, there are some emotions that you're having around, some love-centered connections that you're having that are unclear, that are not being fully resolved. Okay, let's see what the Oracle card is. Open-hearted. Look at that. Wow. So with regards to how you are moving within your heart-centered connections, there's a need for you to tap in. As I was getting with the personal, health and wellness, this sort of sense of mindfulness. And what I mean by that is for you to just be still and know yourself. Be still and know what is going on for you. And sometimes we can't know that until we get still. Okay? So there's an opportunity for you this week to go a little deeper and examine how it is that you're feeling. And the other opportunity for you is to allow yourself to be open-hearted. And I want to share what some of this book had said about open-heartedness, if I remember correctly. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right, because open-heartedness gets a bad rap, right? Oftentimes when we think about open-heartedness, it's like almost like being a pushover, or not, being sort of emotional and unfocused in some way. But actually, it doesn't mean being that. It doesn't mean being overly emotional. It doesn't mean allowing your boundaries to be exploited in some way. It actually provides and creates clarity. If you let your situation, if you look at your situation from an open-hearted perspective, it allows you to be a bit more objective and more flexible, okay? Because you're not looking at it with such a hard and fast, like right and wrong way, if you allow yourself to be open-hearted, okay? When we are open-hearted, we recognize that our paths are unique, and those around us are doing the best they can where they are on their journey. You know you're being open-hearted when you feel warm energy around your heart. Open-hearted appears when your situation could use a dose of love and empathy, both inwardly and outwardly. So having compassion for yourself, having compassion for others, having compassion for the situation. We're all on our own journeys, okay? And so when we come into connection, those two journeys that we're on collide. And there's an opportunity for you this week to get still and know your own emotions, what's really going on for you internally, and to have compassion for the emotions of others around you, okay? That's what I'm seeing within your love and connections. It feels like kind of a deep under the surface week, right? Of things possibly emerging from underneath the surface. And then for your spiritual growth and spiritual or personal growth, we have the High Priestess. Okay. So the High Priestess is all about tapping into your intuition. She is deep, y'all. She knows herself from inside out. She does not take for granted what she knows intuitively. She allows it to guide her, to help her to make decisions, to help her to be stable, to help her to continue to fuel her soul journey forward. All right. And she does it with confidence. You know, there's a beautiful blossoming behind her in here. I believe these are like pomegranate, this sort of sense of success and abundance. Okay, there's a deep knowing here. We've got the moon going on here at the bottom. The same idea of understanding those deep emotions. And so because we're talking about spiritual growth and personal growth, there's a need for you to really tap in and listen to your intuitive self this week. Allow that to push you forward in whatever it is that you're doing, either spiritually or personally, to continue to grow yourself on your soul journey. The Oracle card, interesting. So you've got exposed. Now this card is talking about how this little young crow, I believe they call them fledglings, is exposed. They are without the rest of the crows with them, and there's a predator coming in, right? And so there's a sense of like this week, you may find yourself in a situation that you feel a little unprepared for, exposed before you want to be exposed, right? If that occurs for you all, beloved, your guidance is to tap into your intuitive self and let your intuitive self guide you out of trouble, all right? To really have trust in your inner knowing. When I say your intuitive self, that's what I'm talking about, is that inner knowing that says, this doesn't feel right. I'm going to go ahead and take my leave. Do so. Okay. Do so this week. And if you find yourself where you're in a situation where you're exposed, tap in and figure out, okay, what do I need to do? Tap into your intuitive knowledge. It may be that you speak up at that time. It may be that you sit silent. All right. It may be that you leave the situation or you stay where you are. But you will know by your own inner knowing and guidance. So don't ignore that this week. All right. And then finally, in the area of hidden potential, what might you not be aware of that can help you have a more joyfully abundant week? You've got beautiful strength. So the strength card, y'all, is the major arcana card, and it talks about that inner gentle strength, not brute strength, not that strong physical strength that knocks things down, right? But that internal strength of being able to tame the beast within and the beast without, okay? So tap into your own inner strength this week, because that is where your hidden key is, your hidden potential to be able to turn this week into something even more powerful than expected. Beautiful. Wow. And you have waterproof. Waterproof is about you really using your inner strength to create a barrier between you and others' emotions. Okay. For some of you who may be empaths, being really watchful this week of, being a bit like Teflon, right? Allowing energy to just simply bounce off of you rather than you taking it fully in and having it affect your entire day or your entire evening. Clean yourself. For those of you who know how to clean yourself spiritually, this would be a week to be conscious of that and then more mindfully clean yourself. There are various ways that people clean themselves with Florida water or herbs or sage or, various ways depending on what is your tradition. A prayer, holy water, whatever it may be. But going ahead and using that with intention and being clear about, what it is that is yours and what is someone else's, and not carrying that on, not taking that on. Tapping into your inner strength this week. That is the hidden potential that you have. You are stronger than you know, loves. Way much stronger than you know. And not just physically. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally. Your capacity to be able to walk your own soul journey is beyond your own comprehension. And so tap into it. Tap into it to this week and have a joyfully abundant week. So that is our general reading. I hope that was helpful for you. Please hit that thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause the video and then I'm going to pull the archetype cards in which we're going to go into the daily reads for as we go through the week. Okay. And with the daily reads, we'll be looking at what is the situation for the day, what might be the hidden energy for the day, and what action or outcome can you expect for that specific day. And we'll look at it every day. And then divine guidance, a card for divine guidance. So that's what we'll be looking at. But first, I'm going to clear this and put the piles down for you to be able to choose which one you're going to follow. And then we'll hop into those and I'll put timestamps for each of those so you can choose which one you want. All right, hang on. Okay, welcome back, Abundant Joy Tarot community. So this is where we pick which energy you're going to kind of walk with through the week for the daily reads. And I'm going to then read for Sunday, September 1st, what might be in store for you. So let's take a look. And actually, I meant to have these uncovered, but they are uncovered, so that's fine. So these are the piles. So you can choose from either by picking the stone that resonates with you, or this is going to be the animal energies that are walking with this pile for this week. Okay, so, or the animal card. So let's take a look at it, and then you can choose, and they'll be in the timestamps, and then I will jump into the first reading. So for pile number 1, you all got the Hope Stone. I'm hoping you can see that. The Hope Stone and the Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. Okay, the Wasp Spirit. and that is a 6-4, which would be a 10. For pile number 2, you've got the kindness stone. And the Coyote spirit. Trust in divine detours. And this is a 1-6, which would be a 7. And finally, for pile number 3, you got relax. Relax. And the deer spirit. Bring a gentle touch. And you got 1-8, which would be a 9. All right. So those are your piles that you can choose from. We'll go into the details of it a little bit more in the individual readings. Again, I'm about to go into the daily read for Sunday, September 1st. All right. So I'll see you there. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Okay, welcome back, my Wasp Spirit crew and my Hope crew. So let's take a look at your Sunday, September 1st, and what is the energy for the day. This one will be a little bit longer than the regular daily reads because I want to talk a little bit about the Wasp Spirit that's going to be walking throughout the week, right? Sometimes life stings, okay? So this may be an energy that you're in right now, but the Wasp Spirit kind of reminds us that you know, life is not always flowers, right? Sometimes it actually stings and sometimes it's painful and it hurts, you know, but there is purpose to the pain because just as the wasp has the stinger, it is also an insect that is incredibly important to the natural world, okay? It supports the growth of plants, etc., etc. So the sting of life that you may be experiencing right now, it may hurt and you may feel deeply disappointed. It may be even overwhelming for some of you. You may even feel resentful that this energy has kind of shown up, but soon you'll see that Spirit has something wonderful in store for you. Because oftentimes we realize that being stung led us to something far better than we even had envisioned for ourselves. All right. So perhaps behind the scenes, the Wasp Spirit was conspiring with Spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and the Wasp Spirit sometimes plays a part. So this energy is an energy that, you know, I know for myself, there have been times when I've looked back and something has been very painful, but I wouldn't take anything from my journey now because what I was able to receive and learn in those moments has been invaluable in terms of who I am and moving forward in the future. So that's kind of what this energy is like. So let's see what this plays out for you throughout the week. And specifically, let's look at this day of Sunday, September 1st. So I did also pull an archetype card, but once I pulled the archetype card, I felt like I needed to pull the spirit, the animal spirit card as the guiding one throughout the week. So the archetype card may be an energy that you're working with through the week, and it may also just be for this Sunday. This card is the wise one. So first, to make sure you did see the Wasp Spirit. Okay. And then this one is the wise one. This comes from the Citadel Oracle. And I like this because it really gives us a sense of an energy that we kind of all different roles that we play within our lives at different times. The wise one here talks about tradition and order. This energy is when you are able to sit back and realize that you have elders, you have people that have come before you that have walked a similar path, and you want to look into how things have been done prior to you and learn from that. It's not that you can't also innovate, that there cannot be change from that, but it's like you've got to learn the rules before you can break the rules. And so this energy is one that is still enough to be able to look closely at tradition. This card talks about organization and rhythm ruling the day. It's time to suppress that creative streak and accept pre-established convention. Time to study those who have gone before. There's plenty to be learned from previous attempts. So the greatest knowledge is derived from the experiences of those who have done this before. And so, it's not necessarily looking at the traditional influences in your life, but really looking at who are the people who have gone through a similar struggle. They may be currently in your world. They may be people that you can reach out to. There may be certain traditions, but to be able to have a curious mind and to learn from those established traditions and how they might help you today. So specifically for Sunday, let's look at the situation here. So you've got the Three of Inspirations. So the Three of Inspirations in this deck represents the Three of Wands. So it talks about that there might be a divine pause in something that you're working on, but that projects and plans are moving forward. Okay, so there may be some kind of, because you're sort of at the beginning of something, so it's like there may be a delay that has happened of some kind, but it is saying that the Three of Inspiration talks about this really being something that is going to move forward. All right. So just keep plugging, keep moving yourself forward in a creative and passionate way. Even though I know this said talk about tradition, but it doesn't mean don't be creative. Just, look at the traditional places of things. Now, what may be going on underneath the surface that you're not aware of? The Seven of Voices. So this is like the Seven of Swords in the traditional tarot, and you can see here there's these foxes here in the background. This card tends to represent some type of stealth or deception. So there may be some things that are going on behind your back that you're not completely aware of that are thwarting what it is that the progress that you're trying to make to move forward. Okay, so just be aware that there is something underneath that you're not really seeing. Okay. Make sure that you're keeping your eyes open and your ears open to what may be happening, because there may be sometimes, I just want to say this, because sometimes deception is not, sometimes it has ill intent. Okay. Sometimes it is evil intent. Let me just be clear about that. But sometimes it's not actually. Sometimes deception is not actually coming out of a ill intent by someone, but out of a lack of knowledge or ignorance, or, thinking they're doing something good, but they're inadvertently doing something that is causing a delay or causing a problem. So you just need to be aware and conscious of that. All right. Now let's talk about the action and how you need to move forward given the situation, right? And you've got, the Queen of Inspiration. So the Queen of Wands. So you've got this, okay? Pile number one, you've 100% got this. And the way that you have this is by stepping fully into your creative power, okay? Your, I think the book says creatrix, right? Like that energy, that fire in you that knows how to be a solid leader is able to be bold in your leadership and move forward. Okay. So there's an opportunity for you to really take the reins and be bold in your leadership to move whatever it is that may be paused a bit on this Sunday and move it forward. Okay. And then your final guidance from the divine, okay, is vision. And this card, this is from the Higher Self Oracle, and it talks about, it's saying that you have clairvoyance, you have intuitive vision, you have clarity. So this thing that may be going on underneath the surface, this is telling me that you probably already know about it, but you may be ignoring it. Sometimes we don't look at things that we know to be true because maybe we don't want it to be true. Maybe there's somebody who's doing something a little sly and sneaky and you feel it in your spirit, but you don't really want to call it out, or you don't want it to be true. Well, Get clear in your third eye. Get clear in your intuition. What you know to be true is in all likelihood true. Okay, so listen to your inner guide, listen to your inner wisdom. That also came up in the larger reading, right? Make sure you're cleaning yourself, right? And also standing boldly in your creative power and your leadership ability on this beautiful Sunday, September 1st. All right, that's your reading for today. Please, if you like what you're getting, go ahead and click that thumbs up for me. Click subscribe so that you can get the daily reads that will come following. And you can follow this Wasp spirit throughout the week. And I thank you for joining me. And I will look forward to seeing you on Monday. Okay? Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your daily read for September 1st, Sunday, September 1st. And you chose the kindness stone and the Coyote spirit. Trust in divine detours. Okay, so let's get into it. So these will be daily reads, and so they're normally about 5 minutes a day. And when you hit that like button and subscribe, it will be sure to be in your feed, and then you can follow the Coyote spirit throughout this week. So please go ahead and check that out. But let's talk a moment about the Coyote. This one might be a little bit longer because I want to talk about this energy that you chose in terms of walking into. So the Coyote spirit is like a trickster energy. And so when it shows up, it's trying to teach you lessons that you may not have fully picked up on. It may have been trying to teach you before and you just didn't fully pick it up. And so it can sometimes be a little bit challenging, right? So it's saying that perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success, a need to feel disappointment before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is actually coming for you. So perhaps you're revisiting a pattern that you forgot wasn't in alignment with the life you are intending to co-create with the divine, okay? Being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in this moment. So the Coyote spirit also reminds us to laugh about the unexpected twists, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing attachments. Right? So this is going to be an important theme for you throughout the week. Trust in divine order now. Coyote spirit is a divine helper. No matter what seems to go astray, things are exactly as they are supposed to be. Okay? So that's what you need to carry with you throughout this week. Now, the archetype card that I have, you are the only pile that got it in reverse. And you got the Sailor, okay? Upright, it is new influences, wanderlust, okay? But reversed, the Sailor is really speaking to this is not the best time to make moves. So again, we're just kind of looking at Sunday here and maybe the beginning of this week. But it is saying that a storm has grounded your ship, leaving you feeling a bit trapped and restless. A difficult time may lay ahead, so even though you're eager for a change of scenery or a new venture, now might not be the best time to pursue it, okay? So don't make a break for freedom at first opportunity. Acting impulsively now won't work in your favor. So this card is really asking you to kind of like take a pause, right? Take a pause and pay attention to what is going on around you. All right, let's look at the actual situation and then we'll look at what's going on underneath the surface. Beautiful. We've got the Star card. Now the Star is representing that there is some healing that is going on for you on one level, and there's also a way in which you are kind of stepping into your shine, if you will, all right? Really stepping, this kind of referred to it with the Coyote spirit that you are on the path of co-creating the life that you most desire and want to manifest. But sometimes what happens is we start moving in that direction and then we fall back into some old patterns, some old habits, some old ways of thinking that we have not yet let go of that actually are not in alignment with where we're going, where you will most be able to shine. All right. And so this is what this reading is actually speaking to. So be mindful of ways in which you're kind of going to the past. Okay. Be mindful of where you're going to the past. What's going on underneath the surface? Interesting. Okay. So you got the four of materials. And what I heard here is that there's a way in which you're hoarding on to something, because this can sometimes represent hoarding. It is also about building a foundation. But what is most prominent for me in this card right now, particularly with this star card, is there's this sense of like holding back. It's like you're holding yourself back from being able to fully step into your shine. And because this coyote spirit here as well is here as well, there's a lesson in that. So really pay attention to any old patterns of thinking, any old patterns of reacting to things or being, or, you know, if you're starting a new project and you find you're approaching it kind of with the same mindset, really evaluate where you are and if that is actually in alignment with where you want to go as opposed to where you have been. All right. That's what I'm getting here for you guys this Sunday. Now, in terms of what action or what is coming forward, interesting. So you've got the 10 of voices. The 10 of voices is the 10 of swords in this deck. And it talks about a completion. Now, it does talk about a painful completion. I cannot ignore that. But it also is an opportunity to really change a mindset, to change the way you've been doing something, the way you've been showing up in the world, okay? There's a need for you to let go so that you can bring in what is where you're going, where you're trying to manifest, the new way that you're trying to be in your life. The 10 of voices talks about a realization, a painful truth. Sometimes when we're moving forward, like for example, I know for myself, there have been times when I've made a decision about something. Oh, I am no longer going to eat flour, for instance. That's not true for me, but if I was to do that, right? I have in the past said I was going to make a decision not to eat sugar, for instance. And then I realized how painful that process would be for me, right? So it's sort of like a realization about self is what this reading is kind of referring to, that there is a completion. There is something that you're going to need to let go of to be able to step into an opportunity to begin anew, to see the world in a completely new way. Okay? That is what is being called upon for you, Paul, too. And this sense of kindness, I really get the sense that this kindness stone is about you having compassion for yourself, being kind to yourself as you go through this process. You are on a beautiful road, Paul, too. You are opening up to new possibilities, new opportunities, new ways of being in this world. And sometimes that requires some painful realizations, some painful steps. And in that process, be kind to yourself, okay? Oh, wow. Okay, so you guys got two as opposed to one. I put one for each, but these must have come together, okay? So you've got expect the unexpected. Look at that. Expect the unexpected and manifest. And this is really talking about the power that you have to create this new world. So even though you're having a painful revelation, which this might be the unexpected, okay, there may be something that comes up, but there's also magic here. There's this sense of like something new is going to come out of this painful realization. Some new revelation, some new way of being, some new connection I'm hearing, some new connection, some new project that you may be beginning to manifest in your world. All right. So that's what I'm seeing here just for your daily read for Sunday, September 1st. Please, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and click that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button so that you can get the daily reads in your feed. And I will hopefully see you on Monday. Have a joyful day. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. And welcome to your Sunday, September 1st reading. You chose the relax stone, and the deer spirit. Whenever I think of a deer, relax certainly goes with it. It says bring a gentle touch. Okay. So the deer spirit, so just so you know, okay, so you chose the deer spirit crew. So you can choose to follow the deer spirit crew throughout the week, and I will be doing daily reads. They will typically be a little bit shorter. They'll definitely be shorter than this long reading that you're in. That is the weekly review, but about 5 minutes or so. And they'll be in the daily feed, but you need to make sure that you subscribe to the channel. There's no cost to that, by the way. And just subscribe to the channel, and then you'll get it in your daily feed. And click that thumbs up if you like the readings that you're getting here. So I'm reading today for Sunday, September 1st. Okay. So, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the deer spirit because deer spirit is going to be walking with us all week. So the beautiful thing about the deer spirit is that it is not only gentle and still, but it is sure-footed. If you've ever watched a deer in the forest, the way that it so gracefully moves, very quietly, still, but with sure-footedness, okay? And so the time has come for you to sort of be gentle and diplomatic when dealing with others, all right? So you may find yourself in a situation where negotiations are necessary in order to reach your goal. So just be mindful of the words you choose. But don't worry, don't get caught up in it, because the deer spirit, remember, has the ability to be sure-footed and confident while also still showing humility and respect for others, okay? So the deer spirit, it's just such a beautiful energy to watch a deer, especially like a family, a deer, whatever, move in the way that they connect with nature and connect with the outside world. So your capacity for calm and grounded communication is going to be heightened at this time, all right? So follow the way of the deer spirit and you will do well, gaining the respect of others and finding common ground. All right. So this is the energy that's kind of going to be overarching, I think, the week for you. And then the archetype that you all had was the waker. And when I first pulled this, I thought, wow, okay, this is being intensely aware, mindful of what is going on around you. The waker is awareness and reflection. All right. And it really talks about just being conscious of what is going on around you. All right. Not necessarily jumping in with what's going on around you, but just being mindful and watching your surroundings, watching what's going on, the current events and the lives of those around you. It may be a little bit overwhelming, but remember that you're only seeing part of it, and that you have the ability to critically think and ask key questions. Be perceptive about the situations happening around you and trust your own gut before acting, okay? Because both your inner and outer feelings, events are connected, all right? So it's going to be important for you to be mindful of your intuitive self and what is going on with the situations around you, in taking both information, both pieces of information, both your intuitive information and the actual physical scenes that you're seeing around you, to make a decision about what action to take moving forward. Okay. So now let's look now specifically at Sunday here. What is the situation? Ooh, lovely. Okay. So you've got the 9 of emotions, which is the 9 of cups, which is literally a wish come true. So the 9 of cups is like a wish being granted from the divine. It is also, you know, cups also represent your emotions, right? Because here in this deck, the 9 of cups are represented by the 9 of emotions, because it really talks about sort of that inner world that is going on. All right. And 9s represent like an attainment of some kind of fruition, right? Something coming to be. And so specifically the 9 of emotions is representing a gift from the divine. Okay. So that's the situation, but what's going on underneath the surface that you might not be aware of? Let's take a look. Okay. So what you might not be aware of. Okay. So this is interesting because I've kind of felt that with the waker. Okay. So you got the 4 of voices, which is the 4 of swords. And you notice here, like the Four of Voices is really about taking a pause. It's about deep restoration of self, okay? Really, not just like going to bed at night and getting that rest, but like really giving your heart a sense of rest. So I feel like for a lot of you, there's a lot going on in your environment and you're keenly aware. You're one of those people who's like very much aware of all that is going on. But what's important for you to be able to receive your good is for you to also make sure that you're giving yourself pause. Yes, be aware of your surroundings, but also find a way for you to shut some of that out. Give yourself a pause. Give yourself a rest so that you can fully receive the goodness that is coming in for you, okay? Now, in terms of next steps or outcome, you've got the High Priestess. Look at that. Wow. So the High Priestess is Major Arcana. She represents the energy of being deeply connected to who you are, knowing yourself intuitively, able to go to the depths of who you are and walk. She walks and makes decisions using her intuitive guidance. Her inner knowledge, her inner wisdom is her source of power, is her source of daily, like her map, right? Like it provides the tools she needs to continue on her map, her journey, right? So there is a call for you to really tap into your intuition. Take time to rest and reflect. That will allow you the door to be able to tap into the intuition that you need to guide you forward. Think of that energy of the deer spirit and how gentle and calm and watchful they are, okay? But there's a stillness about them. And so there's a need for you to also capture that stillness, all right? And the message from the divine is divine timing. So all is coming together for you, Pile 3. You definitely got a wish coming true, but some of you may be feeling a bit of impatience. This is the higher self oracle. And so your higher self is really asking you to have patience because all things are coming to you. Your wish is going to be granted, but there's a need for you to be able to have some patience to drop within this group more so than the other groups so far. For this Sunday, it's like use this time to drop within, tap into your intuition, listen deeply to yourself and to the divine for your guidance in terms of how to move forward and get ready to receive. Get ready to receive, y'all, because it is coming for you. So that's what I see for you on this Sunday. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can get the rest of the daily feeds that are going to be coming through this week. It'll be in your feed. And other than that, feel free also to drop a comment. If there's something that resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you. And other than that, I hope you have a joyfully abundant day. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.